internship project was the Smiley Bot chatbot. Um, I was at the Stanford Graduate School of Business. I was working with the Research Hub, or more specifically, the DARK team. And yeah, so the big picture significance of the chatbot, or just AI chatbots in general, are like the rise of Chat GPT and how we can incorporate it into our everyday lives. And we can go into like how chatbots can be used as a Swiss Army knife among many different fields. And they increase efficiency and productivity among many workplaces. Yeah. So I worked with the DARK team. So who is the DARK team? The DARK team is the Data and Analytics Research Computing team, and they help professors and research students within Stanford GSB with their research and computing needs. So the research students and professors have access to the Yañez servers, which are basically just supercomputers that are capable of running very large data sets that you wouldn't be able to use or run on a normal computer, because they just don't have the hardware capable for it. And yeah, so the overall project goal was to create a chatbot that can respond to user queries. And user queries are basically just the research students and professors asking for any help with preparing large-scale data sets or assisting with any data analytics. And the internship goal, like my personal goal, was to learn the process of creating a chatbot, how to work with large data sets in order to train the bot, and then how to work with launching the bot to a number of whatever audience that I may be launching it to. So the chatbot model pipeline would basically consist of the first step would be collecting the data. So I collected the data from various sources, which we will go into later. Then you need to train your model using sentence embeddings and finding the cosine similarity. So sentence embeddings is basically just, since computers do not understand English words or anything like that, you need to transform those words and sentences into numerical representations. And then those numerical representations are basically vectors of real numbers, and they encode like basically just the like semantic meanings, like the English words and sentences. And then you need to find the cosine similarities, which is basically just comparing the sentences with each other and finding like the most similar sentence. And that will help train the model to know which answer is like the most similar to the question being asked. And then the third part would be launching the chatbot to the users. And then the fourth would be collecting any feedback. So I collected user query data from Slack primarily, and then Gmail, and then the RCpedia, which is the research computing hub frequently asked questions page. And then I used various APIs such as the Slack API, Gmail API, and then some web scraping techniques in order to grab that data. And then we made two separate models. So model one was more of a retrieval-based chatbot, which basically just returned previous threads of answers. So it was like the question being asked by the user, and then it would just return the whole thread of whoever responded to that question. And then we would document ways to improve the efficiency in that training process. And then afterwards, we started the model 2, which was a generative chatbot, which most of you are more familiar with, like ChatGPT. So we did use the OpenAI API, which OpenAI is who makes ChatGPT. And we used ChatGPT 4, which is the most updated model, just because it's the most accurate, and it produced better responses than the other models. And then I used sentence embedding and cosine similarity again to find the most similar answer to the questions. And then to find for the questions, we used the frequently asked questions page for the answers. So any questions that were related to the frequently asked questions page, the bot would return an answer that was basically a summarized version of the frequently asked questions page, and then we would launch the chatbot and collect user feedback. So here are some frequently asked questions. So like, how do I gain access? How do I recover files? How do I install a certain package? Just those are pretty much the frequently asked questions. There may be a few questions that aren't on here that are more obscure, and the chatbot wouldn't be able to help with that just because it's not a frequently asked question. And that is when one of the dark team would come in. So here is like the different models and their responses to a sample question. So the sample question was, I can't log in. So I used GPT-3, GPT 3.5, and GPT-4, and they all had similar responses, but we did like GPT-4's answers more than the other two. So we decided to use that. So here is an example query. So why isn't my Jupyter Hub working? And then the smiley bot would kind of say, give me a moment, just because it took a little bit just to generate the answer. And then in this middle part, this is the answer. And it would also link the frequently asked question page so that they would have more information about that answer. And then we also had like a feedback survey linked as well. In conclusion, the results showed that GPT-4 generated the best responses, but it did take 15 to 20 seconds longer. Um, those longer generation times are due to GPT-4's popularity. Like everyone's using GPT-4, so it's a very strained model. And SmileyBot was launched for a short time period, and feedback was collected. So my reflection was I learned how to use various APIs, such as Slack, Gmail, and OpenAI. I learned to use pandas in order to organize large data sets. I learned more about sentence embeddings and cosine similarity, which I didn't know about previously. I gained a lot of confidence in my own coding abilities, and working in a tech environment it really helped hone my own like personality, and just it helped a lot just being in that environment, and also working in the group setting. Just it's nothing beats it. And this internship really solidified my path of pursuing data science as a career. Um, and I want to say thank you to Wanhee, Jeff, Savannah, and the rest of the Dark team. It was really fun having the opportunity to be with you guys throughout the summer, and I really learned a lot from each and every one of you. Um, and I want to say thank you to Marissa and Sophia for facilitating all of this. Thank you for having this, giving me this opportunity, and it's something that I'll never forget. I want to thank Professor Jeff Anderson for recommending me for this internship, and then I also want to thank Stanford Graduate School of Business for having me at their School of Business.